I guess like most people, my motivation now is turned to my children, the next generation, and I guess also just waking up every day and feeling I want to be living the kind of life that I love, that I'm never going to look back on and go, ugh, why did I get stuck in that job? Well, obviously I'm not particularly big or strong, and I'd never even rowed before I set out to row the Atlantic, so I don't think we can put it down to skill or strength, which I guess means that the strength must have been all up here. And for me, it became a 3.5-month journey of trying to tap into a load of mindset tools that mentally could keep me going, because I realised that where my mind went, my body would follow. And that was life-changing for me. I think we're all in very high-stress situations at work these days. And what's key is to try and find habits that we can put in place that become as automatic as like brushing our teeth every day. It's something we do every day that reduces the stress. And scientifically, there's been a number of ways that we can reduce that stress. Things like mindfulness, taking exercise, walking in nature, getting more sleep, something we could probably all do with a bit more of. And it's finding ways to make those things habit that's key, because we all know inherently those are good things to do. They're the right things to do if we want to reduce our stress levels if we're in a high pressure work situation. But rarely do we find the time to put them into practice. And so a great book that helps people get into those habits is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I can highly recommend that. It's absolutely crucial that companies have the conversation about diversity and inclusion, and then also ultimately take action on what their findings are in their organisation. And of course there's the legal obligation, particularly if you're in the UK with things like the gender pay gap reporting now come in. But of course there's this moral angle as well. I think what companies are moving towards, and what we're seeing in our business, mixed diversity developers, is actually now businesses are starting to see there is a tangible business case for diversity and inclusion. And it's important to stress that diversity is a given, it's everywhere now. Inclusion is the thing that businesses should really be focusing in on. Yeah, life is busy, but everyone's life is busy. For me, I think it's being real about what you can and can't achieve, and being very focused on the things you want to achieve, but also accepting that you can't do everything. So it's crucial to have the right people around you. Without a doubt, much of this wouldn't happen without the support of my husband, who is fantastic at very equal parenting with me, and it's a fantastic team at work who help facilitate a lot of the day-to-day work that needs to get done. And also I just outsource a number of other things in life that I just don't have time for, like cleaning the house, and I realise I'm in a fortunate position to be able to do that, but I just think you have to accept you can't do it all, and I know my energy needs to go into the things that only I can do. Well, there's great news for parents here, because a 20-year study by a Wharton professor found that actually of the 900 families they followed over that 20-year period, they found that work didn't have a detrimental effect on their children's well-being. But there were two things that were detrimental. The first was when parents bring their stress from work home with them. And the second thing was when they're with their children at home, not having quality time with them. And of course, that's getting increasingly difficult now that we're so connected to our devices. So I think the key message is where our eyes go, our mind follows. So make sure your eyes are on your kids. Companies need to step up and really carefully analyse the opportunities they're giving to women, and whether they are equal to the opportunities being given to men. And unfortunately, although on face value a lot of companies would say everyone has equal opportunities, unconscious bias is something we cannot avoid. It's ingrained in our psyche, and unless companies take a really hard look at how do we disrupt the unconscious bias that gets in the way of things like giving women the opportunities to be sponsored or mentored appropriately, or giving women the opportunity to get a project lead or to work on a key account with a client, unless we're interrupting the bias that stops, puts in place barriers to women, it's always going to be difficult for women to progress as speedily as men do in an organisation.